Hey there, I'm Demitri with the Demitri team, and in this video, we're going to talk about interest rates and what you should know. So, is there really anything you need to know about interest rates? You know, it's what money costs you, right? Well, here's the thing that you should look at, and that is this, and you should know this. What does $1,000 cost you in a mortgage, right? So go to your lender if you're going to get financing and just ask them, hey, listen, what's $1,000 cost me? Let's say he says, well, that's $10 a month. $1,000 represents $10 a month in your mortgage. And I'm just throwing that out there. All right, it could be $6 a month. It's easy to start from there because now as you start figuring out the money and you go, okay, well, I need to, I need to I want to lower or increase. Let's just say you put an offer in and the seller came back and they said, I don't like your offer, but I'm going to counter. And they countered, you know, let's just say it was $10,000 over what you had requested. And you go, man, that's $10,000. And you look at it. Well, let's look at what it is realistically. Let's say that $1,000 was $6, right? So 1,000, they said 10, that's 10 times that. So that's $6 is $60. So it's not really a $10,000 increase. What it is a $60 a month increase. So you need to look at it. How does interest represent those big numbers that you're throwing around because they're so big and they scare the heck out of you and you go, oh, I can't do that. You've got to relate it to what is the monthly impact to you. And if you know what $1,000 costs you on the interest rate, okay, you can easily calculate that and you can go, okay, can I do $60? Also, it lets you know pretty quickly, are you going to qualify? Because if your lender says, hey, the most you're going to qualify for, don't worry about the big number, worry about the payment, right? He says the most you're going to qualify for is $950 a month, right? And the offer you put in was going to put you at 850. Well, you got a whole $100 to play with to go up and down. And since you already know what $1,000 costs, you quickly can make a decision. It's like it doesn't become hard. Okay. Here's the other thing I want to tell you about interest. They change all the time. And the way historically that we've done, in fact, actually, I know you can see I got a little gray in here. The very first house that I bought, the very first house, I paid 17% interest. Yeah, that's right. 17% interest. I got an FHA loan, the wife and I, and the two kids. We moved in. We were golden, man. We had a house, 3 bedrooms. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, had a fenced in backyard. I had a 1 car garage detached. I was happy as can be. You go, how could you be happy? That was 17% interest. Well, that's what it was. We wanted a house. What mattered was could the monthly payment that it was going to cost me, could I afford that? Because I didn't care about what the interest was. I didn't care what the house cost. I mean, but like you don't care. What you care about is can you afford it? And you should also be relating that to what's my monthly, if I had to rent somewhere, which I was coming out of an apartment, coming into a house, and quite honestly, I think we did about the same money. We went from a 2 bedroom apartment, no garage, no yard, no nothing. And I think what we were paying for that and what we were paying, for the house turned out, I don't know, maybe we were $100 more a month in what we had. But we had so much more, we were very happy with that. And that's how you should approach your home buying. Not like, oh, I got to go by what the interest rate is, and if I can't get the best deal, I'm not going to do it. That's ridiculous. What you got to do is will it fit within your budget? Does it make sense to do it in your budget? And here's the next thing. 3 years after I bought that house, interest rates went down. I refinanced. I did a streamlined FHA. I went down to 12%. I was happy. I went from 17 to 12. That was a big drop. I think I dropped about $80 a month in my payment. That was a big deal, right? Actually, 3 years later, put me less than what I was paying for an apartment when I first started, and that apartment had already gone up and was higher than what my mortgage was at the time anyway. So you've got to relate it to that. And what is going to happen is during the time frame that you have the house, you will probably see that interest rates go up, interest rates go down. They go down enough that it makes sense to do the refinance. Do that. You got the house. All you got to do is just do a refi. So that's how interest rates are something in the decisions that you're going to make in the house that you're going to live in and love. And I hope this helps you figure out to, not be stuck and be able to move forward because home ownership, that's a whole lot better than renting. You have not only I call it rent control because your mortgage isn't changing. The only thing that really changes in that is insurance and taxes, right? And those are minimal changes year to year. So your rent or your cost per month pretty much stays static. Whereas if you were renting, you don't know what the landlord. Some of the landlords in the last couple of years doubled rents on people. Can you imagine paying 800 and suddenly they go, well, hey, I know you want to renew at $1,600. Can you imagine that? Yeah, I don't think you want that. You want to be able to keep that consistent. Buying a house is one way to do that. Second thing, the house represents your piggy bank. It's money you're putting in because every month a little bit of that is going towards the principal. So, the equity part of your house is increasing, but also because house prices for the most part go up at least 3% a year, the value of the house is increasing on itself. So you had a $400,000 house, it went up 3%, that's 12 grand. So you just got 12 grand just because you were living in a house, right? So you got to look at it from that standpoint. It's a kind of a forced savings account that is going to happen automatically that you will never get in renting. All right, don't be afraid of interest rates. Go buy yourself a house and hey, look, let me be the guy that helps you buy that house. Have an awesome day.
Hey, I almost forgot. Don't forget to subscribe and follow.